Yo, what's up guys, for some more reaction videos. Today we are waiting to a news video from Jaiden Animation where she found out that she has ADHD. Now as always, before the video starts, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, plus turn the notification button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Also guys, I'll be way pleased if you can recommend me some more videos or channels or any video that I haven't watched yet that you want me to react to. Be sure to put that in the comments. I really appreciate that. It really helped me and helped this channel. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into this video.
Do you ever think to yourself, man, why is it so hard for me to just do the things I need to do and focus and remember things and manage my time and be organized and remember things and not get sidetracked? Yeah, me neither. When I was a kid, I was pretty much the picture-perfect depiction of a good student. I was well organized, always turned in my work on time, got good grades. I even did my homework on Fridays instead of procrastinating until Sunday night. Sure, I didn't like studying and found it hard to focus during it, but who didn't? Saying all those qualities put together, that doesn't sound like the brain of someone with any kind of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, does it? I was well behaved, didn't feel like I struggled much in school, and didn't cause any trouble. That is, up until I moved out of my parents' house for the first time to go to college. Gradually, I started slipping. I began skipping classes a bit when I just didn't feel like going. Would wait until the last moment to start classwork.
Yes.
And lost a lot of motivation
College
because
life.
I wasn't interested in any of my schoolwork. But overall, even though it was pretty out of character for me, I chalked it all up to the fact I was simply over going to school. At the same time, my YouTube was really kicking off, and all I wanted to do was that. Of course, I wasn't gonna be as good of a student when the silly YouTube videos were doing numbers. I finished a single year of college and convinced my parents to let me take a gap year to see where this YouTube thing can take me. Spoiler alert, the gap year turned into me never going back. I'm a college dropout. So great, I've eliminated the boring school part of my life that weighs me down. Now I can go back to being organized with my new exciting passion job, which entails being my own boss and having to manage and assign myself all of my own responsibilities 24/7. Why are the voices not getting quieter? It's almost like everything was going backwards. I was having a much harder time staying organized and focused. If I didn't want to do a certain type of work, I would have to shackle myself down in basically an isolation chamber to be able to get it done. If I found a new interest, it was all I could think about. And why is it so easy to suddenly be on your roof watching a YouTube video on how to know when you need new shingles? I really didn't get it. Child me had it held together more than current me. What went wrong? I could look back and recognize how everything used to be so perfect and easy. Look at tiny Jaiden and all her ducks in that row. I used to color code every single binder I owned, and now I don't even know where I placed the 20 bucks I literally just had in my hand 3 minutes ago. I haven't even left the room. Genuinely, where could it f***ing go? Despite feeling like I was downward spiraling for multiple years, I never suspected it could be something related to a genetic neurodevelopmental disorder. I just thought I wasn't trying hard enough and being lazy, or applying myself like I used to. Oh, the woes of turning into an adult, I suppose. Maybe the best years of your life truly are in high school. How upsetting. I didn't even enjoy those either. But then one day I got a text from my brother. I got diagnosed with ADHD. It was a pretty big surprise for me because growing up, he never really seemed to show any of the typical symptoms you associate with ADHD. You know, people would always describe ADHD to me as super hyper kids who would run around the room and scream and generally be a lot. That wasn't my brother. He was quiet and well behaved like I was. But when he started explaining his symptoms, the gears started turning. Yeah, I've always struggled a lot with focusing in school and having things hold my attention when it's boring. But like, I could hyperfixate on things I'm interested in and get really passionate about that stuff. Hearing him talk about his personal symptoms of ADHD made a lot of sense, and I felt very freshly educated on the topic. And you'd think that I would immediately start looking into getting a diagnosis for myself, because if you were paying attention, my brother's experiences all sounded very similar to the same struggles I've been having in my own life, but related to work instead of school, because I dropped out. But nope, I was just like, good for you, bro, happy for you. Or, I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyway, back to struggling to simply open up my drawing program as if 2 blocks of iron were welded to my wrists. Imbalance of brain chemicals? nah, this just happens from time to time. It's normal. Just the laziness kicking in. I hate Mondays, am I right? Even though I didn't instantly think there was a possibility of me also having ADHD, the mental seed was planted. It's genetics, so I knew subconsciously it ran in the bloodline. It took a few years after my brother was diagnosed for me to really sit down with myself and consider that I, too, could have ADHD. Shocking revelation, I know. Foreshadowing, where did you come from? Things in the focus and productivity department were just getting worse and worse. I had the attention span of a cartoon dog, would completely forget things as soon as they entered my head, would hyperfixate on random stuff like an addict, and there was constant civil war happening inside my head to get one thing done.
Is that normal
even
life
though
as we struggle
I
to
knew
do
it
our
would only
daily
take
tasks?
15 minutes. You don't understand. It feels like physical torture to make myself sit down and lip sync a simple scene, like most of the time. You know, the
I mean,
thing
that's the life of
I've
an
been doing for
animator.
10 years
Well,
at this
it's
point
struggling.
and definitely used to doing. And yeah, once I've gotten going, then I'm honed in and you have to pry me away from it with a crowbar. I'm aware of that part. But nah, I'm still gonna scrap with myself to plant my ass in that chair because I don't even know why at this point. The biggest thing holding me back from feeling like I had ADHD has always been the simple memory of being in school and having my shit together. I know what it feels like to be on top of things and to be organized. I had it all in the palm of my little child hand.
Not
I just
anymore,
needed
you
to
don't.
summon it again with a bit more effort. But a light switched off in my brain and suddenly I'm just not capable of the things I used to be, and it feels pathetic. Simple tasks are such a mental burden. It feels like I'm out of control but can't do anything about it. So finally, I figured I would try and get myself diagnosed. What did I have to lose? If anything, they just tell me, no, you don't have ADHD. Try a little harder and stop complaining. And yes, of course it took me like 8 months after deciding to
I
get
wonder how they
diagnosed to
test you for
schedule the actual
ADHD.
appointment.
That got
What
me
did you expect?
curious
That's
of.
like the first checkmark box on the ADHD list. I started seeing a psychologist and he would
Oh, you
ask
had
the
to be a
typical,
psychologist,
"Do you have
okay.
a hard time focusing?" And I'd go, yeah, like this one time yesterday, and then he writes something down as I continue rambling on this hyper-specific example way too long for a neurotypical person. I met with him for a few weeks, and then it came down to diagnosis day.
Here we go.
The nerves, man.
The results.
I was so ready for him to say I'm a normal person who needs to suck it up. But instead, he was like, okay, so yeah, you definitely exhibit symptoms of someone with the inattentive type of ADHD.
Okay.
And autism. Yippee! My struggles are justified. I'm not crazy. Wait, what was that last part? He explained all the different ways ADHD affects me and the different areas I struggle with compared to others. He even gave me a 37-page document
What?
of his conclusions and information
37
on how my brain
pages,
works,
damn.
with graphs and pictures. I've read through it all a bunch of times now, and it's already really helped me understand how I tick. I call them the autism docs, but I'm not gonna get into that side of the diagnosis. Let's just brush that one away for now. There's a couple types of ADHD you can have: hyperactive, inattentive, and combined, which is both hyperactive and inattentive. Hyperactive is the type people typically go to when they think of a loud kid who can't sit still. People with this kind normally need to fidget, have low patience, tend to talk a lot, and have trouble staying seated, especially when they're expected to, like in a meeting or school. Inattentive is the one where someone experiences difficulty in focus, memory, organization, has a low attention span. That's the one I have. It's self-explanatory, but if you have the combined type of ADHD, then you got it all. ADHD jackpot right there, my friend. I brought up during the appointments that I used to be such a good kid in school with seemingly zero ADHD symptoms, and how that part has always confused me. And he had a couple hypotheses about it. One, since my mom has always been a big source of my organizational influence, I was able to depend and lean on her for the majority of my school life for it.
Like
I felt
any
like I
child
was
would be.
naturally capable of staying on
Always-
top
we
of
always
things
depended
because
on
she
our
was right behind me the
mom.
whole time, reminding me and guiding me through stuff. So when I moved out, everything started crumbling, which lines up pretty perfectly to when I did start struggling. Another explanation he gave was the fact that ADHD affects women differently than men, which is also less researched. Love to hear that one. Not only do women tend to be able to mask their symptoms better than guys, so it goes much more unnoticed, but they also experience ADHD differently. And research says there's a chance it can just start affecting women later in life. I'm no ADHD scientist though, that's just what I've been told by specialists. I don't know, I've just got the dang thing. Either way, those two explanations make a lot of sense to me and have since put my weird ADHD imposter syndrome to rest. I didn't really think that getting a diagnosis would change much about how I go about my life, but since getting my ADHD certificate and lollipop, it's completely revolutionized how I think and go about getting things done. It's still hard to get my ass into gear when I need to do one normal thing that's not difficult, but I'm much less hard on myself and will strike almost like these kinds of mental deals to loophole myself into getting things done. Like, for example, if I really don't want to edit a video, I'll say to myself, okay, I know it's gonna be super hard for me to immediately start that task, so I'll get myself into the mindset of getting things done by doing a simple other task I don't find difficult, like cleaning my room. That way, I'll feel productive and can transition that into tackling the original task much easier. It doesn't always work, but it's the mindset change and overall understanding that sometimes I'm gonna have to go about things in different ways that's helped me a lot. Also, after being diagnosed with ADHD, I didn't have much desire to get medicated. I figured just knowing I have it would be enough to get things into gear, and I didn't really need medication that badly. But the content creator in me also thought, well, if I'm gonna write a script about having ADHD, it would be nice to be able to talk about what it's like to be medicated, even just for a day. So I got prescribed good old classic instant release Adderall. Instant release means I don't have to take it every day. I can just take it when I need to get stuff done. It affects me immediately and then wears off after a few hours. There's also extended release, which is the kind you take every day and gives you a constant steady stream of medication. It wasn't until I had the Adderall in my hands when I realized the idea of taking it for the first time made me nervous. Like, what is this thing gonna do to me? I have so many friends with ADHD, honestly a higher ratio than friends without it.
A lot of people got ADHD.
All these MFs have it. They were all telling me that it's awesome, how you'll take it and immediately feel like a god, and you can do anything and it's incredible. And yeah, that sounds great, but also like, what the hell? What do you mean I take this little pill and suddenly all of my problems seemingly disappear and I gain superpowers? That's scary. That sounds
impossible.
Like the thing every adult in a 20-mile radius warned us about when we were kids. Am I gonna feel like a completely different person? I don't know if I'm ready to experience immortality.
Just take the damn pill, lady.
I put off taking Adderall for so long because I was irrationally scared of the tiny blue pill, but coincidentally, I really needed to get a script done. If I take too long to write a video script, then the team runs out of work to do, and then I have a bunch of people sitting around and waiting for me to give them more work so they can pay their bills and survive and stuff. But for the freaking life of me, I just could not get myself to sit down and write that script. My body and soul found it mentally easier to backflip off a bridge than write words on the computer. After literally 2 months
you have to take the pill. Just take the pill.
Ooh, you better write that script. I won't let you enjoy a single moment of your life if you aren't writing that script. I don't wanna. Get up, go to the bridge. After that constant loop, I finally swallowed my fears and took my first Adderall. I had talked to James a lot about what Adderall is like since he's been on it for a few years now, and after I took one, I was messaging him like, I did it. I ate an Adderall. How long does it normally take to start? How do I know? What do I do? And he was helping me a lot and giving me tips. Then, like 20 minutes later, I felt it.
The voice
all the non-stop thoughts going on in my brain went silent. I could think clearly and in like a line. My mind wasn't racing a mile a minute. I was able to sit behind my laptop and write. It was incredible. I was messaging all my friends about it the entire time. I can write my script and not get distracted. I don't have to take a mental break every 10 minutes. I can remember things. Kelsey sent me a message and I thought, I'll check that in a bit. And I remembered to check it in a bit and respond. When I opened a new tab to look something up, I didn't go down a random unrelated rabbit hole. I picked up my phone to check something and didn't impulsively scroll Twitter for an hour.
I guess she's not more active now.
How am I doing this? What do you mean I can feel like this
main
whenever
topic?
I want if I just eat the tiny blue pill? I refuse to believe regular people can function like this on a day-to-day basis. No way. It wouldn't be fair. You guys don't have loud, non-stop voices in your heads preventing you from doing normal things? Come on, just admit it. You can't pick something up and immediately keep remembering what you were supposed to be doing.
Most distracting thing
you
you will ever
always
experience.
forget and feel crazy. Come on. Come on. I was so suspicious that on Adderall, either nothing would happen and I just wouldn't feel anything, or I would feel like I'm a totally different person experiencing
Going
some
to overdrive.
manic episode. But no, I just felt like myself, but with my shit together. And that's the part I couldn't believe. After 2 months of war, I finally was able to plant myself down and write my damn script. You wanna know what script I wrote while experiencing Adderall for the first time?
What?
This one.
Oh,
I was
this one.
struggling to
Oh.
write a script about ADHD, and the thing that finally pulled it out of me was Adderall. You gotta admit that's funny. Yeah, it was great. I didn't think my head was loud before, or I was that impulsive, or had that hard of a time focusing. But now that I've been able to peacefully sit in one spot for hours and not need to take a break, or check social media, or get distracted by some stupid tangent I don't actually care about, yeah, this changes things. I still can't believe what I was able to accomplish. Writing a script in 3 hours.
3 hours,
Compared
damn.
to my typical 12 hours.
Really?
aka
Damn.
One mediocre thing with no struggle at all. And you want to know what I did right after I wrote this script? I immediately got up and cleaned the bird's room without
Ooh.
rotting in bed for 3 hours beforehand. I just went from one task
Do
to
another.
another without thinking about it. All you neurotypical people must be thinking I'm literally pathetic and useless, but I know my ADHD brethren are out of their chairs right now hearing that. I'm not standing before you all to give you scientific data and information on ADHD or diagnose you or even promote prescribed drugs. I'm
Yeah,
just
don't
here
roll
to
that.
talk about a big and recent experience in my life, how much of an impact and effect it's had on me, and how awesome feeling normal is. Seriously, being able to take a deep breath in mental silence is incredible. Cherish that feeling if you don't have a neurodevelopmental disorder. It took me 26 years to realize my woes were not actually woes, but symptoms of brain chemical deficiency. I'm writing this video, all things considered, pretty recently after being diagnosed, and I'm still trying to learn how to rebuild my life in a way that lets me optimize my productivity and get things done at a normal level. But so far, I've come so much further than I thought I could simply by knowing what's going on up there in the old noodle. And Adderall. If you're on the fence about being diagnosed with something, I get it. It's scary. It's scary to think you might have it, and it's also scary to think you might not have it. It's an odd place to be. But for me, having a concrete answer from a professional is what got me to finally stop feeling stuck in place and actually start moving forward again. It's been great. I'm excited to keep learning more things about how my mind works and find new ways to improve my day-to-day life. Cheers to getting normal shit done.
Nice. Okay, so let's end a video of Jaiden Animation having ADHD. So you guys don't know, ADHD is a kind of a disorder where it can affect your focus and also your impulsivity and also, as they say, being able to not think at the moment and also do the stuff that you want to do and then not doing it. So to be honest, I think a lot of us, we all have this kind of symptoms. It's not a common thing, and it's luckily not a very bad thing. Everyone has it, and then like it's not like it won't affect you in your daily life, but it still would affect you on how you do your stuff. And I'll be honest, I actually also may have ADHD as well, because like there are some times when I do some stuff, I'm not always that focused, and sometimes there's when I do other stuff and I was doing some other stuff like also watching YouTube as well, I forgot to do the other stuff as well. So this, I may actually have this kind of symptom, but it's not surprising. It's not really like a mystery that cannot be solved. So when doing process of finding out if you have ADHD, I actually don't know how the process was going to do. I thought it's going to be like a test or something. Well, apparently it is kind of test, but you go to a psychiatrist and the test, like as say on what you normally do, and then like describe what you've been doing to the psychiatrist, and then after like around as she say few weeks, then they will show you the result whether you have ADHD or not, which is like I never experienced it before, but it's kind of like at least you, if you ever go to a test like this, then you at least know what to expect during this test. It's not anything like you take like chemicals or like you do like anything task related during this how you say meetings, but you just have to just sit there, talk about what you do to the psychiatrist, and then they just give you the result in a few weeks. Plus also I didn't know they also apply you medication for this, which is a bit surprise for me, because I mean also it's not surprising because normally they give you normally this kind of stuff, they will obviously give you medications, and then like it help you to not fix the problem but help to improve on it lah. Like one of the pills she got was Dural, hopefully that's correct, which is a pill that helps you improve your focus, which is good because also this kind of like, if you have this symptom where you're not focused, this kind of medication allows you to focus on your work, and then after that all the other stuff you like side doing, then that one can put back while you also focus on your main stuff lah, which is kind of cool, good, but hopefully there's not huge side effects like after taking this pill, whether something happens or not. But so far, as she mentioned, it helps you to focus, so luckily there's not many bad stuff happening, but hopefully if you take too much, then if something bad happens so hopefully that doesn't occur when you have this kind of medication. If it does, then you just have to be very careful not always take this so many times just at the time when you're not at a busy work, hopefully So I'll be honest, I have nothing else to say for this video other than like, if you do experience this kind of same symptoms as Jaiden, when you're not focused and you're always doing other stuff when you should do your main stuff, and some like other symptoms you have related to ADHD, you can either go test it out, go have a test to make sure you do have ADHD or not, or you can just deal with it and just go on with your life So yeah, I'm gonna end this here for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, plus turn the notification button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Also guys, I'll be very pleased if you can recommend me some more videos or channels, or any video that I haven't watched yet that you want me to react to. Be sure to put that in the comments. I'll really appreciate that. It really helped me and help this channel. Also, make sure to check out Jaiden Animations channel, links will be in the description. So yeah, that's all. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys next time for more reaction videos. I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care and peace.